Welcome back to this training session. In this training session, we are going to build the logic behind the Field Worker Inspection app. So, let's jump into the app designer and start coding. As a first step, we are going to build the logic behind the Save Comment button. So, let's jump into the designer and start doing that. So let's select the O button save comment. Let's open the press event. The first thing that we want to do is see if we have something inside the text area. So let's do an if statement and let's check if we have anything in the value. Otherwise, we will send a message saying please provide a comment. If we have anything inside the text area, we want to save the data, and we also want to switch the icon to green in order to be easy to identify which tasks are already done. So let's implement this logic. One thing that we also want to do is switch the button to green and disable the button in order to prevent a second save. So let's start by changing the color. O button save comment dot set type, and let's put accept that it's the green. To disable, we just need to toggle the set enable to false, and let's also disable the text area in order to prevent any change. So let's do set editable false. Now let's change the tab comment icon to green. And to do that, we just need to do set icon color, and let's put it as positive because this is green. We also want to create a global function to check if all the tasks were submitted in order to enable the submit button. So let's drag a script file, let's rename it to function, and now let's create our function. So let's put function and let's name the function check if ready to submit. Now let's copy the name of the function into the press event of the button. And now let's go back into the function and let's code. The final step on this function is to switch the button submit inspection to enable. So first thing first, let's go to the button and set this button enable as false. Now let's create the logic. So first thing, let's create a variable. Let's create a local variable. So let's use let ready to submit equal true. Then we are going to check the tab icon colors to see if any of the colors is equal to default. So let's put tab comment dot get icon color equals to default. We switch the ready to submit to false. In the end, we are going to check if the ready to submit is true. If it's true, let's send a toast saying ready to submit and set the property enable to true on the submit inspection button. Otherwise, we set the same property to false. Now let's save and activate. We have a JavaScript error. We didn't set the position on the bar. So let's set the position to footer. Once again, let's activate. Let's jump into the application, refresh, choose the first line. Let's press the save, and we have a JavaScript error. Let's jump into the code. We have a typo. It's value. Let's correct that. Once again, let's activate. Let's choose the first line. Let's press the save. So no JavaScript, and we see the toast. Please provide a comment. Let's type something. Let's press the save. Now the button switched to green and is disabled. The tab is switched to green and the text arrow is also disabled. And the submit button is enabled because we are only doing one check for now. Now let's do the same and build the logic for the pictures. And I just noticed that we don't have a back button, so let's also enable the back button. So let's choose the page view inspection job. Let's also give a title to the page, so let's put inspect equipment. Let's enable the nav button. And now let's go to the event press of the nav button. In there, we want to do oapp.back. A small correction, it's app, not oapp. Now let's build the logic for the picture tab. By default, the O button save picture should be disabled, and it should be only enabled when we upload an image. So let's set the property enable to false, and let's switch the property back to true when we upload an image. And this is going to be done inside the JavaScript camera upload after the oimage.setSource. Now let's do the logic on the save button. So let's choose the button, let's open the press event, and let's implement the logic. The logic is going to be similar to the one already done for the comments. But in this case, we don't need the if statement because the button was disabled and it's only enabled if someone uploads an image. So this is the code that we need to do. First thing is to set the property enable to false on the O button camera upload. Then we need to set the color to green on the O button save picture, and for that let's do set type accept. And we also need to disable the same button, so let's do set enable false. Additionally, we need to change the color of the tab picture to green, so let's do set icon color positive. And to finalize, we need to call the function check if ready to submit in order to check if all the tasks were performed. Now we need to change the check if ready to submit to include also the check on this tab. So let's jump into the global function and implement the logic. So the only thing that we need to do is the if statement. So we need to check if the tab picture dot get icon color is equal to default. If yes, we need to set the variable ready to submit to false. Now that we are changing the logic on the function, let's prepare this function for the remaining tabs. So let's implement the if statement for the barcode and the if for the tab signature. Now that we have implemented all the ifs, the function is ready for the 4 tabs. So let's go on and implement the logic behind the save for the barcode. For this one, we don't have a save button, so the logic is going to be implemented inside the on detection. So let's implement the code. In this case, we want to disable the button start. We want to change the color of the tab barcode to green, so let's do icon set color positive, and the final step is to call the function check if ready to submit. Now let's implement the logic for the tab signature. In this tab, we don't have a save button, so the logic is going to be implemented inside the button OK. First thing, let's open the press event and let's implement the logic. So the first thing that we need to do is to check if the signature pad is empty. And this can be done using the statement is empty. If it's empty, we want to show a toast message saying please sign. Otherwise, let's copy the signature pad into the image to show it. Let's also show a toast saying signature save into base64. Let's disable the button clear. Let's also disable the button OK. Let's change the button OK type to accept. Let's hide the H box where we have the signature pad. Let's change the icon color to positive. And let's do the check if ready to submit. Now let's activate the application and check if all the buttons were properly configured. So let's start on the command, let's type something and press save. Everything switches to green. Let's upload an image and we need to check if we have a problem because I don't remember if the button should be disabled, the button to upload. Let's go to the barcode and let's scan the barcode. Everything is working fine on this one. And let's go to the signature, let's sign, let's press the save, and we have a JavaScript error. Image existing signature is not defined. Let's jump into the designer and check the code. So it seems that we used the wrong names. The correct name is image sig. Let's change it. Now let's double check if the button to upload the picture should be disabled or not. And the correct answer is no. The button should only be disabled if we press the save. That was not the case. So let's redo the tests. Now everything seems to be working fine, and as you can see, in the end we have the submitted button enabled. Now let's navigate back and forward and see what happens. Let's choose different lines. So as you can see on the first one we have everything green, but now if we go to one that doesn't have the full status, you see that the icons remain green. So we need to implement the logic to set the proper colors depending on the status of the information that it's being passed. So let's jump into the list and adjust the way that we are passing the data. The first thing that we want to do is to block the navigation if the status is different from assigning, meaning that if the inspection was already completed or rejected, we are not able to change those ones. So the code to prevent that, it's very simple. It's an if statement where we are checking the status to see if it's assigned. If yes, we allow the navigation. Otherwise, we show a message saying this inspection can't be changed. Additionally, instead of passing the data directly to the model, we are going to use a global function called populate inspection job page to manipulate the data and also the layout of the page. So let's implement this function. Let's go into our script file that contains the global functions. and start coding. So the first thing that we want to do is to set the data to the model view inspection job. Then we want to navigate always to the same tab, to the comment. So let's do set selected key comment. Please do a double check to see if you have this key on the tab comment. Then we want to navigate to the next page. So let's do app2 and pass the name of the view inspection job. Now let's go on and start coding the data validations. The first thing that we want to do is define a global variable. So let's do var is all data present equals to true. Now the next step is to validate if we have something in the comment. So let's do an if, and inside the brackets let's put data.comment equals to null. If it's null, let's do a text area set value empty. On the O button save comment, let's set the type to default, and let's enable the button. The text area needs also to be enabled, and the tab comment icon color needs to be set to default. And in this case, we want to set the variable is all data present to false because the comment is empty. If the comments are not empty, we need to pass this value into the text area, and to do that, we just need to do text area.setValue and inside the brackets put data.comments. In this case, we need to set the button O button save comment set type to accept, and we need to disable the button. So let's do set enable false. And we also need to do the same on the text area. So let's do set enable false. Let's also change the tab comment icon color to positive. Now let's go on and do the same on the attachments. So if the data.attachment is equal to null, we want to set the image to empty. Additionally, you want to enable the O button camera upload. We want to set the O button save picture type to default, and we want to enable also this button. We want to change the icon color of the tab picture to default, and we want to disable the O button save picture. So let's do set enable false. Because the variable is empty, we need to set the is all data present to false. Now let's do the else. So in this case, because the data.attachment contains something, we need to pass this value to the OImage. So let's do OImage.setSource. In this case, we also need to disable both buttons, the O button camera upload and the O button save picture. We need to change the type of the O button save picture to accept, and we need to change the color of the tab picture. So let's do set icon color positive. So let's move to the next one, the barcode. In this case, we want to check if the data.equipment underscore barcode underscore scan is equal to null. If yes, we want to set the input barcode to empty. We also want to enable the button start and change the color of the tab to default. We need also to set the variable is all data present to false. If we have something already in the equipment underscore barcode underscore scan, we need to pass the value into the input barcode. So let's do input barcode dot set value, and inside the brackets let's do data dot equipment underscore barcode underscore scan. We need to disable the start button, so let's do button start dot set enable false, and we need also to change the tab color, so let's do tab color dot set icon color positive. Now let's go on to the signature. If data.signature is equal to null, we want to clear the image sig. So let's do image sig.setSource empty. We need also to enable the button clear, to change the button OK type to default and enable the same button, change the tab signature color to default. So let's tab signature.set icon color default. We need also to do hbox signature pad.set visible true. We need also to set the variable is all data present to false. Now on the else we want to do the exact opposite. So let's do image sig.set source and pass the value inside the data.signature. Let's disable the button clear. Let's change the type of the button OK to accept and disable this button. Let's set the visibility of the HBot signature pad to false, and let's change the color of the tab signature to positive. And now we have concluded the validations on the tabs. So now let's do a validation on the is all data present. So let's do an if is all data present equal to true. We want to set the text text is all data present to true. Otherwise, let's set the same text to false. And the final step in this function is to trigger the check if ready to submit function. Let's activate and test the application. Let's choose one line that is already complete. So we see the toast and it doesn't navigate. Now let's choose the first line and we have a JavaScript error. text is all data present not defined. Let's go into the code and we have a typo. We put a no in the beginning, so it's just text all data present. Let's apply the correction and retest the app. Let's choose one line that we already have something, so we have the barcode on this one, and as you can see, when you navigate, the tab barcode is switched to green. And now if you go into the one that doesn't have anything, all the icons are blue. Now let's implement the logic that is going to save the inspections as draft when you navigate back. We are going to do this because sometimes the inspection it's not performed in the same day. So maybe we need to save for the day and resume on the next day. So let's go into the code. This logic is going to be implemented inside the navigation button. So let's choose the view inspection job and let's open the press event of the nav button press and let's start coding. So the first thing that we need to do is to create a variable. So let's do var any save data equals to false. Now let's do four ifs. So the first one is going to be if tab comment dot get icon color equals to positive, we set the variable any saved data to true. Let's do the same for the remaining three tabs. Then we need to do also a if to check if the text is all data present is equal to true. If yes, we need to set the variable any save data equals to false. Now we need to do a check on the variable any save data. So if this variable is equal to true, we want to show a message box saying, are you sure you want to exit this inspection? Any saved data will be stored as draft. Any unsaved data will be discarded. And we are going to show two options, the cancel and the yes button. If the user chooses yes, we want to trigger the function save partial inspection and navigate. If the user chooses the cancel, we return to the same page. If any saved data is equal to false, we go to the else. And in there, we want to do oapp.back, and we want to trigger the get online list inspection job to refresh the list. Now let's go on and implement the save partial inspection and navigate function. So let's go into our global script functions and create the logic. For this function, we will need to implement a new Ajax. So let's drag the component and let's rename it to update inspection. Let's define the Ajax ID as update_inspection. And let's also define which variables do we want to send. So we want to send and receive the view inspection job. Now let's code the save partial inspection and navigation. So the first thing that we want to do is show a message. So let's do sap.m.message_toast.show and send the message saving draft. Let's put here just a console log for our referencing. Then we need to do a get online update_inspection. We will navigate back, so let's do oapp.back, and we also need to do a get online list inspection jobs. Now we need to jump into the Eclipse and implement the logic for the Ajax. So we need to do a when updating_inspection, we will move the corresponding global structure _equipment_inspection to the global structure inspection. Then let's modify the table Z inspections from the work area global structure_inspection, and last step is to perform a commit work and wait. Now let's jump into the app designer. Now that we have implemented the Ajax, let's do one thing on the Ajax success. Let's call the get online list inspection jobs in order to update the list after the changes are saved. Now let's activate and test the application. Let's choose the line that I already have the barcode submitted. Okay, so let's do back, and we have a JavaScript error, all text, all data present. Okay, so it's a typo, it's not O text, but just text. So let's jump into the code and correct. Now that we have corrected, let's activate and try once more. Let's select the same line, let's go back, and now we have the dialog. Let's choose yes. And we have an issue, get online update_inspection is not defined. Let's jump into the code. So we have a typo, it's a lowercase I. So let's replace that. Let's activate once more and try again. Let's choose the same line. So let's go back. This time let's press first the cancel, so no issues there. Now let's do the yes. And we have a new JavaScript error. App is not defined because it's app, so it's a typo. Let's jump into code and correct that. Let's activate and try again. Let's choose the first line. We have another bug. Let's go into the code and correct also that OApp. Now let's activate the application and try again. Let's choose the line of the barcode. Let's press back. We have the dialog. Let's press yes and no JavaScript. Now let's open it again and let's put something in the comment. And let's go back without hitting the save button. In this case, because we didn't save, the information is going to be discarded. Let's open the same line, and as you can see, we don't have anything in the comment. Now let's type something, but this time we are going to press the save. Let's go back and we have the dialog. So let's press yes. Let's see if the tab is going to be updated to green. It doesn't seem to be. So let's go in again. Let's try again. 1, 2, 3, save. And it doesn't update. So let's go into the codes and check why it's not updating. And the reason why, it's because we didn't bind the text area to the variable. So let's bind the comment to the value. Let's double check if we have the bind assigned to the other options. So let's go to the image and bind the source to the, let's bind the input barcode to the equipment underscore barcode underscore scan. Let's check the last one, the image C, and on this one we already have the binding. So let's activate and try the application. Let's select the barcode line. Let's type 1, 2, 3. Let's press the save. Let's go back. Let's choose yes. Let's see if the list is updated to green. It doesn't seem. So let's do a troubleshoot. Okay, so I found the issue. When we did the ABAP code, we didn't activate the class. So let's activate the class and try once more. So let's type something. Let's press the save. Let's go back and let's select the yes. Let's wait. It seems that it's still failing. Let's refresh the page. And no, the comment sits there, so the information is being updated. Oh, okay, I know the problem. Let's do once more. Let's choose the same line, but this time let's update the image. Let's save it, let's go back, let's press the yes, and let's wait. As you can see, the transfer of the information is a little bit heavy. We have one image that is very big and it's delaying the transfer, so that's why it's not refreshing the list immediately. So if we wait, as you can see, now the picture is green. So let's choose this one again, and this time let's do the signature. So let's press the save, and now we need to implement the logic behind the submit. So let's jump into the app designer and do this. Let's select the button submit inspection. Before we code the press event, let's do one thing. The object text or data present is used only for checking. It's not supposed to be visible, so let's set the property visible to false. This is used as a flag only. So you can have global variables or you can use objects to store information. Now let's choose the button submit inspection and open the press event. So let's implement the logic. The first thing that we need to do is model view inspection job dot get data dot status equals to submit. We also need to refresh the model. So let's do model view inspection job dot refresh. Then let's trigger the refresh of the list. So let's do get online update underscore inspection. And the final step is to go back. So let's do app.back. Let's double check if we don't have anything wrong. Okay, everything seems to be okay. Let's try again. Let's refresh. Let's choose the line with the barcode. Let's do the signature and let's press save. Let's press the submit and we have a new JavaScript error. It's a typo, so let's go into the code and change the get online update underscore inspection to a lowercase. Let's activate and retest the app. So let's sign and let's press the submit. After refreshing the list, as you can see, the signature now is green and the status is changed to submit. And now we cannot update this line anymore. So let's go into the first line. The final thing that we need to do is to implement the geolocation. So let's jump into the app designer and start coding to show the map. So the placeholder for the map is the job location map. To show the map, we are going to use an external library called Leaflet. Let's jump into the browser. This is the page for this library. So if you want to check the documentation or anything else, you can go into this website and check it. You can find here multiple examples on how to implement the code. Let's jump into the app designer. So the first thing that we need to do is go to the header and put there the references to the external libraries. We need to put here the CSS reference and also the JavaScript reference. Don't forget that if you use this application inside a Launchpad, you will need to copy these references to the Launchpad header. Now let's go into our global function and start coding. The code is going to be put inside the function populate inspection job page after the statement Pt.2 and the name of the page. One thing that we are going to need is a global variable. So let's pass the var map before the function statement. So the first thing that we need to do is a check to see if the variable map is equal to undefined. If true, we need to set a timeout, and inside the timeout we will need to instantiate the map. The timeout is needed to give time for the page to render. On the line 45 you can see there the var reference equal to job location map.getDOM_references.id. This is to get the ID of the DOM element, and this is the one where we are going to attach the map. On line 50 we are creating the map, so we can see that we have map equal to l.map and we are passing the DOM the ID of the DOM element dot set view, and we are passing the data dot latitude and the longitude. On line 52 we are setting some attributes on the map layer and adding this map layer into the map. On line 61 we are adding a marker to the map to show the position. If the map is different from undefined, we just set the view and we update the marker position. Now let's activate the application and try once more. Let's choose the first line and we see the map, but we are over water. Let's see if we have, okay, this one is also over water. Let me prepare an example very quickly where we are over land. Now, as you can see, we have here a new test case, and in this case, this one shows over land in Brazil. And with this, we conclude the training session. Looking forward to see you on the next one.